Okay, so starting off, Mega Abomasnow. The thing is with Mega Abomasnow, actually, let's pull it up. Mega Abomasnow. Let's see. Pokemon DB. Here we go. Mammon, thank you for the bits. Taking a look at the base stats here. Not bad for attack and special attack. The thing is, though, although the defense and special defense stats are nothing to sneeze at, this is a grass ice type. It gets fucking bodied by fire type attacks. And Snow Warning as an ability, the only real utility it has is it guarantees that Blizzard hits every single time. So there's really no point in using it over any other Mega Evolution with a type like it. Mega Absol. Let's take a look. Absol. Holy shit, that is a big attack stat. And it's got some decent special attack, and it's got the speed to back it up. And Magic Bounce. That's interesting. That actually has some utility. What people used to do in like Gen 6 is they would run Rotom Wash for the sole ability of, as well as having decent electric and water type coverage, running Will-O-Wisp. You would use Will-O-Wisp to put a burn on an opposing Pokemon, and that would nerf its attack. Magic Bounce, it reflects that move. So instead of being afflicted by it, now you are. No you. It's a simple no you. So for that reason, although Absol doesn't have a phenomenal move pool, nor does it have the defenses to last that long or the HP stat to last that long as a Mega Evolution, it's fine enough. It's not the worst option. It's not the one that I would pick either. But that's all I have to say about Absol. Aerodactyl. Let's take a look. Tough Claws. Right off the bat, that is a good ability. Any move that makes contact with another Pokemon, like a physical move that would like touch. So not something like Rock Slide, but something like, I don't know, Crunch, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, stuff that Aerodactyl has access to. Those are further boosted by the ability. Pretty good attack stat with 135, and oh my, that is good. That is good speed. And better defense stats and HP stats than Absol to boot, so that it can last longer. I think that's a B tier Mega Evolution right there. That is a straight up decent offensive Mega Evolution. Mammon, thank you for the more bits and the more fart sound effects. Tarkus, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 2 months. And thank you.
Hydreigon and Rayquaza are the best Pokemon.
Hydreigon and Rayquaza are the best Pokemon? That might have been true in Gen 5 for Hydreigon. And then they introduced Fairy type, which I theorize was purely because of how good Hydreigon was. I think if they either didn't put in Hydreigon or it wasn't used as heavily as it was, we may not have seen the Fairy type come to light. Because Dark Dragon was a really good typing, especially on Hydreigon in Generation 5. Mammon, thank you for the 2... Oh my goodness! Mammon, thank you for the 2 gifted. I'm not saying Hydreigon's bad. Hydreigon is really good. I love Hydreigon. But competitive-wise, it's just not the Pokemon that it used to be. Anyway, Aggron. Let's take a look at Aggron. If I recall correctly, well, I need the A in front of the Gron. If I remember correctly, Mega Aggron was a pretty good defensive option. Filter, that borderline negates one of its only weaknesses, fire type. No, all of its. That almost negates all of its weaknesses while having really good defense and attack. But the thing is, this special defense and speed, that leaves a gaping hole in its defense. I would say a good 2 flamethrowers from a Charizard would be enough to take this down. So for that reason, although it's nowhere near as bad as Abomasnow. Just because of the fact that defensive Mega Evolutions don't have as much utility as their more offensive counterparts, I think Mega Aggron, but it's a good enough tank. I would put it in B tier. It can deal some damage. Yeah, B tier for Mega Aggron. Mega Alakazam. Let's take a look at Alakazam. I'm telling you right now, it is going to have good special defense. I get, not defense, attack, special attack. 175, holy shit. And it can tank like a Shadow Ball or two. Maybe not two, but definitely one Shadow Ball or Dark Pulse. And it's got good speed, so it can deal out some good damage quickly. Mega Alakazam is shorter? Really? Oh, yeah, it is. Who knew? But this defense stat right here is what keeps it from being a truly great Mega Evolution. And Trace, Trace is good, but only in certain conditional circumstances. Like maybe switching into it after you've been intimidated, maybe cover for that weakness in defense. But other than that, no. It's fine, but it's not phenomenal. I'm going to keep it in A tier for now. Altaria. Let's take a look at Altaria. Altaria. Mega Altaria. That is a nice spread of stats right there. That is a solid spread. It could run as a nice mixed attacker. It could take some hits. It's got Cotton Guard, so it could become even more bulky. Especially considering its typing. A lot of its weaknesses are against, like... Thank you for the bit, Mammon. Thank you for the bit and the fart sound effect. But anyway... Definitely this good mixed defense stats are good for... They go well with its typing because both dragon and fairy types have a lot of mixed weaknesses. And what I mean by that is that the types that it's weak to, they vary both in terms of physical attacks and special attacks. Not even to mention Pixelate and abilities like it that turn normal type moves into like super effective, not super effective, but stab moves like Pixelate, Aerialate, Refrigerate. Those are really useful abilities. And although it doesn't have the typing to put it into S tier, it still has a good spread. This is a good option. This is a good option to use. The only thing that I would want to see out of it is higher speed. That's the only thing really. But it's not bad. It's not bad speed by any stretch of the imagination. Mega Ampharos. Let's take a look. Ampharos. Okay, Mold Breaker is a good ability. And I would say that, I originally was going to say that Ampharos might not be able to take advantage of it because the primary like competitive utility of Mold Breaker is to make sure that everything except flying types are hit with Earthquake. But at the same time, actually, that could be good for its electric typing, because this would negate the effects of abilities like Lightning Rod. That would normally make its electric type attacks pretty much inert. Ampharos isn't a good Mega Evolution IMO. They gave it the Dragon typing for having hair, and its special defense its speed as shit. That may be the case, but at the same time, Trick Room exists. So if you build your team around this Mega Evolution, like you should, this could be a pretty good utility, because it's got good defense, good special defense. It could take hits, even with, although not phenomenal, pretty good HP, and it can deal out damage with its special attack. So although there are better options, I would not say that Mega Ampharos is bad. I would not say that. What I would say is bad is Audino. Just for the heck of it. Let's take a look at what it gets. Healer, what does this do? May heal an ally status condition. May. So that means it's not consistent. Good defenses, not good speed, not good HP. Attack and special attack are fine. Realistically, what are you going to use this for? It's got the stats to be a tank. But if you want a tank, there are better tanks out there. Prime example, Aggron. Its ability is consistent. This has no offensive capabilities whatsoever. D tier. Go have a bite to eat with Abomasnow. You suck. Banette. And I am still sore over the fact that out of all the Generation 5 Pokemon, Audino got a Mega Evolution. Pretty much every other Unova Pokemon should have gotten one over Audino. But as for Banette, Prankster, that has really good utility. Prankster has really good utility, especially if the status moves you use are used to hinder your opponents. So stuff like Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave, and I think Banette gets Will-O-Wisp. So although bad defense, bad special defense, well, not bad, but less than ideal, it's got good attack. But its speed is in that weird spot where it's not good enough to be good, and it's not bad enough to really benefit from Trick Room. So I will give it credit where credit's due. It can probably deal out a heavy punch. But I just don't see a whole lot of use for that. But the design goes hard. I'm going to put it in B tier. Now, as for Beedrill, I don't know a whole lot about Beedrill, how they handled its Mega Evolution. Adaptability right off the bat, that is a good ability. That just makes its powerful attacks even more powerful. Good attack stat, good speed, all right special defense, but I am not liking that defense stat. Especially considering how many fire type and rock type moves and ground type, because this is probably at least neutrally affected by ground type. I don't like how much of a weakness this defense stat leaves for it. I'm thinking for Beedrill, it gets 1, maybe 2 turns of use before it dies. It gets one shot with Flamethrower. It's a really cool design, though, and the stats that it's good with, it's really good with. So I think B tier is fine for it. You know what? Actually, I'm going to move Aggron, Banette, and Beedrill down to C tier. I'd say these 4 are just about as good for utility as the other. Blastoise. I think I recall some things about this Mega Evolution. It gets Mega Launcher. Considering Blastoise's move pool, it gets stuff like Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Water Pulse. It can use this ability. And with these stats, oh, it can use it. Oh, it can use it well. I like these stats. These are good. Although it is limited by its speed and maybe a bit its HP, it can tank hits and it can deal damage. I like that. That is an A tier Mega Evolution. Now, although I think I already know where I'm going to put Blaziken, I might as well give it a look. Speed boost, so the longer it stays in, the more dangerous it's going to be. It already has a dangerous speed stat. Decent enough defenses, phenomenal attack, a special attack that it probably doesn't need, but it's still good. Plus a bit access to moves like Power Up Punch, Protect, stuff that it can use to set up not only one stat necessarily, but also the speed. So for that is an S tier Mega Evolution. Let's take a look. Camerupt. It did not need that good of a Mega Evolution, but it got it. Now let's take a look at Camerupt. Sheer Force. Removing added effects to deal damage. Let's take a look at its move pool. Can it even take advantage of that? Flamethrower, probably. Yeah, that is a chance to burn. Yeah, the majority of these moves in its move pool can take advantage of Sheer Force. That's definitely a good ability for it. That is some good attack and these 4 stats here, I like that. But it's slow as hell. However, Trick Room, Curse. Because what Curse does if you're not a ghost type, lowers your speed and buffs your attack and defense. So it can make that speed even worse, but even better for Trick Room. At the same time, though, not a good defensive typing. So realistically, what I'm thinking happens in a matchup here, assuming that Trick Room is already set up, it goes out, gets 1 curse, might get a knockout off, but if that KO isn't on whatever's throwing a water type attack on it, it goes down at the end of turn 2. So I'm thinking B tier. Yeah, that's what I said. It gets absolutely bodied by water types. Now for the Charizards. The 2 Charizard Mega Evolutions. Taking a look at X first. Tough Claws, we've talked about it. Good ability, especially considering the contact moves the Charizard gets access to. Stuff like Flare Blitz, Wing Aerial Ace, Dragon Claw, Outrage, Earthquake. It's got a good move pool. Decent enough defenses, good speed, although you can make that and the attack even better with Dragon Dance. What I would have liked to see is maybe focus in more on that physical aspect of what you can use with Charizard X. Make the attack better at the cost of special attack. But still, it's good enough. Easy A tier. Arguably S tier. But out of the 2, I liked Charizard Y more. I liked using Charizard Y more. Specifically because of its ability in tandem with its special attack. What I would use Charizard Y for, you would set up Sunlight with Drought. And because of the sun, that would make one move that it gets in its move pool, Solar Beam. That would turn Solar Beam into a defensive weakness. It takes a whole turn to set up the attack. It turns that into a base 120 power move that you can use right off the bat that covers a very dangerous, that covers several weaknesses that it has. Covers rock and water type, leaving its only real weakness that it can't handle. I don't even know if it, maybe electric type. Yeah, that would leave electric type. But yeah, good special defense. Not phenomenal defense, but good special attack, good speed. I would say Charizard's an S tier. I might change my mind on that later on, but Charizard Y, if I had to pick between the two to use, I would pick Charizard Y. Diancie, let's take a look. I'm not super other than the design, I'm not super oh my god. Other than HP, these stats are phenomenal. And Magic Bounce, I would say with Magic Bounce in tandem with these stats, makes it a decent, at the very least, a decent counter for tanks and stalls. So I'm going to have to put Diancie at least an A tier. Now for Gallade, another Mega Evolution that I used for a while. Inner Focus, pretty good against a lot of Pokemon that like to use flinch hacks with Fake Out. That's a good attack stat. Decent enough defenses, good speed. I'd say this is another A tier. Really good utilities. Got some good move pool coverage, good utility. Really good utility as a potential sweeper. You set up Sword Stance. Maybe if you have, what was I going to say there? If you base it off of a Gallade that has Justified and you bait out a dark type attack, then you Mega Evolve it, use Sword Stance, that's 3 stages of attack boost right there. Then you just use Zen Headbutt, Close Combat, Sneak Attack, or whatever third move you want, maybe Leaf Blade, to your heart's content. And you deal some damn good damage. That's an easy A tier. Garchomp. I think Garchomp's Mega Evolution, design-wise, it's cool. And like stat, I don't know. I feel like they missed the mark on this. Sandforce, that I think it's ability-wise, it could have benefited a lot more from having Sand Rush. Because when it Mega Evolves, it loses some of its most crucial stat in speed. For the sake of special attack and defense, not defense, and attack boosts. Which, although they're good, they're really good. Garchomp's utility takes a hit because of this Mega Evolution, purely because of the loss of speed that it gets. In tandem with how much it gets crippled by Ice-type moves. So for that reason, I can't give it any higher than A. You know what? I'm going to put it in B tier. Just because of how much it is crippled by its defensive typing and its speed debuffs. Gardevoir. This is a Pokemon I remember being used heavily in Generation 6 because of its Mega Evolution. Pixelate, a really good offensive ability, especially considering it's got the Fairy type already. It made Hyper Voice a force to be reckoned with this Pokemon, especially in doubles, because it would hit both slots with Stab, with a 165 special attack. Not even to mention, it could take hits. Not a whole lot of them, but it could take hits that it was weak to with special defense, and it was quick. So that's an easy A tier. You know what? I don't feel right having these three. Well, no, having these two in the same tier as the rest of them. So I'm going to move these two down to B tier. Gengar. Yeah, Gengar is broken with its ability. It is, you can deal with it, but it is hard to do that. Shadow Tag, once it gets in, no one that's in there is getting out. So although you do have a window to take it out with its lower defense and HP here, oh my god. It's going to outspeed you, and it's going to hit you hard. Unless you are a specially defensive tank. God damn, what is going on with me today? So that's an S tier right there. Let's take a look at, what was it called? Shit. Not Frostlass, but the other one, Glalie. Although it has... What do you mean, although? What do I mean, although? These are decent stats. This is... Mega Glalie could be easily used as a potential mixed sweeper, as long as you've got something there to support it. You know what I think it is just its typing. Its typing is not the best for offensive capabilities. But on paper, everything here looks good. Not phenomenal, but good. So that, I guess that keeps it out of D tier. Now for Gyarados. Lysander's Ace. You get Mold Breaker. With this attack stat, you better believe you're going to be running Earthquake on this. You throw a Gyarados out, get a free Intimidate, Mega Evolve. I think you get a guaranteed. The god-awful design, I don't think this is god-awful. I think this is a fine natural progression from Gyarados' original design. I personally like these frills that it's got back here. Yeah, it is a floating sausage. But do you know what Gyarados is based on? A big old shrimp. That is what that is a shrimp. So it's only natural that it is still a shrimp. Sure, they could have done something cooler with it, but I don't have any qualms with this. I like that special defense stat there. Considering that water types were already had a lot of susceptibility to special attacks, in tandem with the introduction of the fairy type, made it weak to fairy types with this dark type here. I like these defensive stats. Speed could be better, but at the same time, you've got access to Dragon Dance. So you get the Intimidate off, you get 1, maybe 2 turns worth of Dragon Dance, and then you just sweep with Stab, Water type, and Dark type moves, and Earthquake. This is a good Mega Evolution. That's an A tier. Heracross. Heracross has an ability that I find very interesting. It gets Skill Link. So that means any move that can hit multiple times, you know, the moves that hit either 2 to 5 times, it hits the maximum number of times. Now, on paper, that's pretty good. But you also have to consider that you can fill up Heracross's entire moveset with moves like that. And 2 of those moves, you get same type attack bonus. You get Stab for that. Pin Missile and Arm Thrust. And even better, you get, where is it? You can get Rock Blast, which covers, let's see, what does it cover? It covers its fire type weakness. It covers its 4 times weakness to flying. And what was the 4th move like it that you could run? What was that? Bullet Seed. That covers water type, that covers ground type, that covers rock type again. You've got good coverage that take advantage of its ability. The only problem with it, its speed is just in that sweet spot where it's too high to benefit from Trick Room, but too low to be all that usable. At the same time, though, I think with these defense stats, unless you're being hit with a strong flying type move, you might be able to get a turn in. So I'm thinking like really high B tier. The only thing holding it back, I think, is its speed stat. Now for Houndoom. Houndoom, this is not a Pokemon I see very often. But just looking at the stats and its ability here, I don't know. I feel like its ability is working against it. I feel like Houndoom here could have some utility on a team that's trying to run Drought. It's got good special defense, special attack. It's got decent defense stats. It's got good speed. I think it's got the move pool to take advantage of its stats. But yeah, Alex, I agree with you. I just don't see Houndoom doing a whole lot here. C tier. Kangaskhan, Kangaskhan. Let me tell you about Kangaskhan. If I can spell it right. Kangaskhan was one of the mega evolutions to use. Solely because of its ability, Parental Bond. Because this little guy here hopped out of the pouch, every single attack got to hit twice, albeit that second attack was at half damage. Well, not half damage, half power. It still got 2 hits. And considering it gets power-up punch, in one turn it gets, let's see, where's power-up punch? Where is it? Let's take a look at Gen 6. Where is it? I know it's a TM. It gets a base 60 move, essentially, that boosts your attack twice. And then from there, you get Sucker Punch, you get Fake Out, you get powerful physical attacks that hit twice with a Pokemon that now has 2 times attack. That has good defenses and good speed and good HP. Kangaskhan is an S tier. It is simply an S tier. And I hate that it was an S tier. Because Kangaskhan in the meta was so boring. Because you knew what it was going to do every single time. It was going to go out, Mega Evolve, Fake Out, Power Up Punch, and then Sweep. It was so boring. Latios and Latias. Let's take a look. Good stats. The ability's fine. It's boring, but it's fine. Good stats. Both of the... Let me take a look at Latias. See if there's any huge differences. I think it's only the spreads that are changed. I'm thinking out of these two, Latias is better. Both are good, but Latias is better just because of its better defenses. Yeah. Lopunny. Now before we talk about Lopunny, chat, I need to know, will you behave? Do you think you can control yourself? Are you normal enough? Are we going to be able to talk about Lopunny like distinguished, normal people? We can? Great. So let's talk about Lopunny. That's some good attack, good speed. Ability Scrappy. Okay. That makes it even more offensively powerful. Run like Power Up Punch, High Jump Kick, Return. Does it get access to Drain Punch? Let's take a look. Does it get access to Drain Punch? It does. So not only is it powerful, but it's sustainable. However, these defenses, although they're good, they can be broken through. So I think I will give it an A tier. You have no attraction to Pokemon shit's nasty. Congratulations, Alex. I am so proud of you. Can we get some congratulations for Alex in chat, please? Alex succeeded the talk about Lopunny like a normal person challenge. Lucario, yes. Lucario was the face of Mega Evolution as a mechanic because the Pokemon Company wanted it that way. So let's take a look and see if it deserved that. Adaptability, powering up move, that's always a good ability to have. Holy shit. It could be a really good mixed attacker, and it has the speed to back it up. Defenses could be better, but I think that would be asking for just a little too much. Run something like Power Up Punch or Nasty Plot on this. This is good. This is good. Not as good as S tier, but it's good. It's a decent Mega Evolution. It is decent. Manectric. I call it a hunch, but I don't think this one is going to be decent. Intimidate, Intimidate is good, but it's better if that's the base Pokemon's ability and then the Mega Evolution ability is different. Good special attack and speed, but the rest of the stats are just meh. I don't see this lasting more than 2 turns. D tier. It's in a similar boat as Houndoom and Glalie. Mawile, on the other hand. Mawile gets a really good ability. And right off the bat, it gets that utility with Intimidate. You throw it in just normally, gets an Intimidate off, then it Mega Evolves and gets huge power. So this already respectable 105, it gets doubled to 210. And it gets good defensive stats. Not phenomenal speed, but it gets access to Sucker Punch. So when it needs to, it can go first, for lack of a better way to word it. So I think that's another A tier right there. Yeah. I think Manectric's design is interesting. I'm not going to pretend like I could have come up with something better, but it's, I don't know, Medicham. Medicham is similar to Mawile in that it gets an ability that doubles its attack. So offensively, it's in a similar boat as Mawile. However, it doesn't get that utility of Intimidate before you Mega Evolve. It's got better speed, not as good defensive stats, but it gets access to stuff like Power Up Punch. I think it gets Drain Punch. Yeah, it does. So it's sustainable. It's good, but some just do it better. Metagross. I love Metagross. This was the Mega Evolution that I ran when I made competitive teams in Gen 6. Look at that spread. Phenomenal defense, phenomenal attack. Well, not phenomenal, but great attack. Nightbot, come on. You're breaking my balls here. Nightbot. I'll give Nightbot a talking to after class today. Anyway, good speed, and even if that speed isn't enough, Metagross has access to Bullet Punch, which is a priority move. So that's covered. It can cover most all its defenses, so I don't, unless a Pokemon is able to set up really well, I just don't see this Mega Evolution going down in one hit. So it's got guaranteed 2 turns. Tough Claws, which makes its attack stat even more dangerous. I'm thinking it's an S tier. Not as good as these two here, but it's still really good. It is a powerhouse. Now for the Mewtwo's. Mewtwo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is the special attack that high? Steadfast. Okay. So this could potentially be a good counter to Pokemon like Kangaskhan that rely heavily on flinching. But even without that, man, oh man, that is a good stat spread. I think that's an S tier. You know what? I think I'm going to need to make another tier above. Broken. We'll make it, I don't know, purple. And right away, we'll put these two. And then this guy. And then this guy. Anyway, let's take a look at Mewtwo Y. What? No. The stat spread for X was so good. What happened here? What? It's got higher speed, higher special attack. Special defense is only a little bit better. What happened? What? Okay, can't fall asleep. Sleep wasn't used that heavily in competitive way. Why is the sweeper? I would say both are sweepers, but Y is a glass cannon. You throw in Kangaskhan and you throw a sucker punch Mewtwo Y's way, it is going down. It is good, but it is not broken. Anyway, Pidgeot. I've always had a soft spot for Pidgeot. Get some good utility with no guard. Probably, yeah, it definitely does, because Hurricane is probably its most powerful move, and that just guarantees that it hits every time. All right, special attack and speed, I like the design. It's just not going to get utility. So it's not as bad as these two, but it's just not going to get used. Pinsir. Let's take a look at Pinsir. Okay, right off the bat, good with Aerialate. Gets stab on normal type attacks. So quick attack automatically becomes a priority, same type attack bonus move with a 155 attack. And the defenses aren't bad either. Yeah, but you're right. Drop a rock on it and it's gone. So I think maximum it gets 1 or 2 turns. But I think it's better than the ones in this tier. I'm going to put it in B. Rayquaza. Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's talk about it. Although we already know Rayquaza's going in S tier, above S tier. It's broken. Oh my god. Not a single stat below 100. And Delta Stream. I think Delta Stream makes it so you can't use ice type attacks. Yeah. Well, no, you can't use it, but it eliminates 3 of its weaknesses in electric, ice, and rock type damage. And it overrides. It can't be replaced. It overrides all weather effects and cannot be replaced. Wow. Yeah. You go here. Sableye. It's got a neat design. I like it's hiding behind a big old gemstone. What's a Pokemon I think is deserving of a Mega Evolution? I think a lot are. And in fact, as soon as I'm done with this tier list, I'll just pull up a list and say which ones are. So the utility, it seems to me, Mega Sableye has is it's just supposed to be a support. It's supposed to be a tanky support, which unfortunately I just don't think has too much utility. Okay, another one where we all know where it's going to go, but let's talk about it. Salamence. Immediately really good offensive ability with Aerialate. Makes stuff like Return, Hyper Voice, Double Edge, a flying type move, gives it stab. And a really good spread. The only way this is going down within like the first turn or two is if it gets hit by a really powerful ice type move. And if that doesn't happen, it's going to sweep. It is going to sweep. Not even to mention the Intimidate that you get off before you even hit that Mega Evolve button. This is a broken evolution. Scizor. I love what they did with Scizor for this. I love what they did with the little pincers. I love how they upgraded the armor. I love that they gave it Technician, so Bullet Punch is an even more viable option. Really good attack, really good defensive stats. Speed, it's in that sweet spot, but I would say that's negated a little bit by its access to Bullet Punch. I also like how good this was utility-wise against the absolute stupid dog shit meta that was the ability to use restricted Pokemon on your teams in, what was it, like 2015, 2016? Scizor was the perfect counter against Xerneas. Sharpedo. Let's take a look at this. Strongjaw, good utility. It gets Crunch and Ice Fang. So yeah, Strongjaw, it boosts the power of biting moves. You get a boost to an already good offensive move with its Dark type. You get super effective Stain type attack bonus plus Strongjaw on Crunch with a really good attack stat. Speed isn't something especially to sneeze at, although you can improve that, I think, if you protect turn 1 with Speed Boost, get a Speed Boost to it, then you Mega Evolve. So it's alright. Yeah, it's just alright. Slowbro. Let's take a look. I'm not familiar with this one. Shell Armor. Okay, so you can't crit this Pokemon. That could be good. Okay, HP. Phenomenal defense. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that. I'd say if your opponent knows what to expect, this thing's got 2 or 3 turns on the field. We'll put it here. Sceptile. Let's take a look at Sceptile. Grass Dragon, it's not going to like ice types, especially with that special defense stat. Good speed, good special attack, pretty good attack. But why Lightning Rod? Why did you give it Lightning Rod? It doesn't need it. Give it a different type of ability. I mean, it's alright, but you're not going anywhere with it. It's better than these, I'll tell you that much. Speaking of which, Steelix. If memory serves correctly, Steelix was just a slightly... Ooh, actually. I was going to say it was just a slightly worse Aggron. But that defensive spread... I don't think it's better, but I think it's about the same. So that just leaves Swampert, Tyranitar, and Venusaur. Swampert. I love Swampert's design here. I think it's so neat that it gets so big and bulky. It could like crush your head with between its 2 fingers. Swift Swim, it's got some good utility, but you do have to set it up. And it covers the one spot, the one stat that I was about to complain about. As long as your opponent isn't running any grass type moves, this is a solid option. Swampert is solid. Into A tier it goes. Tyranitar. Excuse me? You're going to give it the same ability that it already had. When you could have, I don't know, given it an ability that would be boosted by this initial one, Sandstream into, I don't know, Sand Force or Sand Rush. But these stats are good. Except for speed, these stats are good. I still think it goes down after 2 turns if your opponent knows what it's doing, what they're doing. God damn it. B tier. This Mega Evolution could have been better. The design goes hard, it's awesome, but it could have been better. My first ever Pokemon card was a Mudkip. That's neat. That's neat. That's a neat little memory there. Venusaur. Alex, I have a feeling I am going to disagree with you about this. Thick Fat. That negates all but 2 of its weaknesses. Maybe 3. I don't know how weak it is to bug. Really good defensive setups here. And it can dish out some good damage. It can dish out some good status moves. I think Mega Venusaur is pretty good. Into A tier it goes. It doesn't do that much. Leech Seed, Giga Drain. You don't take as much damage and you get it back. You can, in theory, you could stall pretty well with Mega Venusaur. And, not even to mention, the ability to take out fairy types was very heavily valued in the Generation 6 meta. So yeah, I like this. I like this right here. This is a good spread. You know what? Actually, I am going to move those 2 and not Lucario. I thought about moving Lucario up, but no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, this is solid. Those are my thoughts about the Pokemon Mega Evolution.